Hey everyone, this is going to be a quick video showing my bayonet collection. I don't have a lot of bayonets right now, but I plan on getting some more in the future. The first bayonet that I'm going to show you is my Polish Type 2 AKM bayonet. The Polish Type 2 bayonets are different from other Type 2 AKM bayonets, namely in two places. One of them is that the Polish ones come with a steel scabbard. This is steel just like the Type 1 bayonets. However, the bayonet is a Type 2. The Type 2 has the steel pommel as opposed to the original Type 1 that had all Bakelite scales, which meant it had a Bakelite pommel, and that would tend to break when troops used the pommel of their bayonet as a hammer. So they changed it to steel. So this is considered a transitional bayonet because of that. The other difference is that the Polish Type 2 bayonets don't have a saw on the spine. None of the Polish bayonets actually have a saw on the spine. A typical AKM bayonet has a saw right here, and this one doesn't have that. However, it does still retain the wire cutting feature. When I first got this bayonet, the leather was very worn and even kind of dried out. So I restored the leather, and then I also sharpened the blade. But that's pretty much it. That's all I've done to this bayonet. And this is a numbers matching bayonet, meaning that the serial number on the scabbard, which is right here, it might be kind of hard to see, but that does match the serial number on the guard. And the serial number on this bayonet is 6391. So it says 6391 on the scabbard as well as the guard. The next bayonet I'm going to show you is my General Cutlery M7 Bayonet. I bought this bayonet surplus, but didn't come with a scabbard, so I ended up buying the scabbard separately. But this is the bayonet. This is the very first pattern of bayonet ever used with the AR-15. And it is 1.5 inches, so it's got a full edge on the forward side of the blade. So when this is mounted, the front is a full cutting edge, and it's also got the back edge sharpened as well. When I first got this bayonet, the edge grinds were not even, so I fixed that myself. And then also I added paracord to the scabbard. I added this paracord right here, and then I replaced the typical leg lash with paracord as well. And the scabbard is an Ontario Cutlery scabbard. There. The last bayonet that I have to show you is my Vz58 Bayonet. This bayonet didn't come with a scabbard, and I ended up with a spare M10 scabbard, which is the same scabbard that the M7 bayonet uses. Checked if it fits, and it fits. So that's what I'm using for a scabbard on my Vz58 bayonet. Here is the actual blade. An interesting thing about Vz58 bayonets is they're not sharpened at all. This one didn't come sharpened. I actually won this at a knife throwing competition. But this one didn't come sharpened, and I was considering sharpening it, but then I thought, let me see if this is actually supposed to be sharpened. And no, Vz58 bayonets were not issued sharpened. And interestingly, the Czech military did not allow sharpening of Vz58 bayonets. So because of that, I leave it blunt. And it has what is affectionately known as the beaver barf scales. These ones got chipped because they're well known for chipping. I might replace these someday with another set of the beaver barf scales, or maybe even try making some out of something else. But for now, I'm just leaving it like that. and I paracord wrapped the scabbard on this bayonet with brown paracord. One thing I ended up doing is, because this scabbard was not designed for this bayonet, I ended up having to remove the retention loop a bit down. On an original M10 scabbard, this loop is much higher. It wasn't working for this bayonet, so I just cut the stitching, put it lower, stitched it in place, and now it serves its purpose. This scabbard is one that the snap ended up coming to me the wrong way. I ended up ordering this one originally for my M7 bayonet, but when that was like that, I ended up messaging the person I bought this from and letting him know what the problem was, and he sent me a replacement and he let me keep the old one. So originally I was just going to keep this as a spare for my M7 bayonet, but I decided to put my Vz58 bayonet in it instead. And I also cut off the Alice clip. And just to show you what it would look like, this is the scabbard to my M7 bayonet. And you'll notice that if I snap the retention loop, it's all the way up here. That might seem like enough to hold, but it can slide right off. As you can see, it's most of the way off there already. Not entirely, but I didn't want that, so I just moved the loop on the other one. So that's pretty much it. That's my bayonet collection. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll see you next video. See ya!